Little Caesars changed the game, bro.
They did.
Little Caesars changed. That's the most shot of shit.
Hey, Chewy, blood. They want you on the podcast, bro. Look, he Mexican, bro. You gotta put him on.
Am I interrupting your depression? I'm sorry.
This week's episode of The Voice Party is brought to you by Big Boy Wraps. Get your car wrapped by some of the most experienced and skilled in the Bay. Big Boy Wraps, where the big boys play.
All right, thank you everybody for tuning in to another episode of The Voice Party
Podcast.
All righty, we're paying attention now. My name's JD. I'm here with
Joaquin.
Black Joaquin. Over there we got Richmond band local. Marcos, what's up, Marcos?
What's going on, man?
You still got that hair dyed?
I do.
Okay, now don't take. Okay, cool. All right. And we got Corday here. We had to mix it up, so we're all mixed. You know, we're integrated. That's a better word.
There you go. Integrated.
I mean, if you want him to go back, we could send him back over.
Perfectly fine, man. I was tripping
We
off.
have desegregated the voice party.
There we go.
And we got Phil over there with his Forrest Gump hat. What's up, Phil?
How's it going?
I was running. And when I ran,
All right.
and I got tired, I slept. When I'm hungry, I ate.
We got a returning guest. You were here for the last time he was here, right?
Yes, I was.
You were. You weren't
full
here.
of surprise.
Yes, I was.
You weren't here. Okay.
Yes, I was.
This is one of my favorite people. Like, for real. One of my favorite people.
At all.
What?
I said yes, I was.
No, you weren't.
Yes, I was.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
Okay. One of my favorite people in the comedy scene.
God.
Please introduce yourself.
My name is Sean Boyles. It's always interesting when somebody says, please introduce yourself, because it's like, did you fucking forget my name, yo?
Thank you. Thank you. I hate that we do this.
But anyway, thank you. Hi, I'm Sean Boyles.
Give it up for Sean Boyles, everybody.
Hey!
We always do this, though.
I know, and every
It's our
time I
thing.
hear it, not just on here, but on other podcasts as well, I'll hear that. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Sounds like you didn't do your research, huh?
What? I mean, why am I here then? You know what I mean? You know.
Fuck it. All right.
No, it's all good. I want to say something about
Let's just start a whole new podcast.
the voice
Start over.
party in general. And now you guys, it's the most.
Now, careful now.
Oh, I'm going there. It's the most beanerfied. Every time I look to see the guest, it's the most Hispanic name ever, and the people that come on have such a nice accent. And
Hortensio Sanchez.
And it seems like the accent gets accentuated a little bit more. You know, instead of saying San Rafael, San Rafael. You know, rolling shit that doesn't need to be rolled.
Those are all actors.
Just an observation. I'm not shitting on that idea. I think it's great. Shine light on La Raza or whatever the fuck you need to do.
First clip.
It's good. It's good. Same.
I mean, especially in California, where so many of the cities and streets are
there's that too.
El Cerrito.
What is that? Who had that joke? Dirtbag Dan had that joke. He's like, I'm half Mexican. Like everyone is gonna be in California.
Yeah.
You're half Mexican too, right?
I'm half Mexican too. Yeah.
It's already started.
Yeah, I'm. My mom is like whitewashed Mexican.
Yeah.
She don't know Spanish. She can't cook. She can't clean a house.
Can't cook.
She thinks Selena and J-Lo are the same person.
Oh, so she dated black people. Okay.
No, my dad's Irish, so she just doesn't know anything. She says tortilla, you know what I mean?
I'm gonna heat up some torts. You want it?
You want it? Yeah, it's
Tortillas.
I know more Spanish than my mom knows.
Do you grow up at all visiting your Mexican side of the family?
So interesting thing. The Mexican side of my family is from Colorado, as far back as to when Colorado was Mexico.
God damn.
We never crossed the border. The border crossed
You
us.
guys, yeah.
I don't have that
Yeah.
super connection to it. You know what I mean?
So Mexicans used to go skiing. That's what's up.
up, dude.
Apparently, I don't know. They were. I mean, there's fields there too that need. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we went west. We could, we climbed them Rocky Mountains. Yeah, hell yeah. We skied too. White people took that from us. Damn, that fucking. Damn, that was a black and brown thing. All right.
But I don't know.
So we're keeping up with the beanerization.
I don't know. What did I say?
Because that's you. That's you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you're beanerifying the shit out of this show.
Welcome
today.
to the club.
Sean Boyles.
Hey, you know how I know you're Mexican? This motherfucker left his work truck with the window down. This fucking guy over here, talk about beanerify.
Hell yeah.
It's like, fucking take my tools. Like, you don't give a fuck. Yeah.
If people want to steal a paintbrush, go the fuck ahead, dude. Nobody wants a paintbrush. It isn't like I got real tools in there. I'm a painter. That's how Mexican I'm not. I'm barely a painter.
No lie, dude. I saw a homeless dude in Richmond trying to sell people a paintbrush. I'm not even gonna lie. So that definitely, yeah.
I mean,
Hey,
He was like, hey,
you're in a tight situation.
no paint. He just like,
I mean, they are,
Half used already.
it wasn't used. That was the funny thing about it.
I've seen
The good ones are $25. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like,
Are you talking about the Mexicans?
Whoa.
Wait, I got confused.
Hey,
Where are we at?
paintbrush.
Just so everyone knows, he's also Mexican.
Yeah, I'm not white.
You don't want to, Jesus Christ, man. You see what you do to my people here?
We're off to a rip-roaring start. Awesome.
Hey, last time you were here, we talked about your band.
I got a couple of those, yeah. One of my first ones, the way back in the Lickistow. Almost got signed and didn't.
It's okay.
What label was courting you guys?
DreamWorks. Oh. And
The guys that made fucking
Columbia.
Shrek?
They had a record label.
They had a record label
It's the same
first. In
company?
fact,
Yeah.
Papa Roach got signed instead of us.
Oh,
right.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
fucking Vacaville fuckers.
The Vacaville fuckers, yeah. I remember we had T-shirts and they were like, "Where did you get those shirts?"
Oh, you guys knew Papa Roach?
Yeah, we used to play with them all the time. You know what I mean?
What was that experience for you like? Because me and my band had a couple meetings and stuff. And
Okay.
it looks like you're about to get signed.
This is how I know you weren't here last time.
Well, no, I mean, I don't think we got that deep into it. So,
can I just ask a question for the podcast?
I think it's a different. It's a different time now. Like now, I think that it's so. I think it's a little easier to go more independent and kind of just do your own thing
100%.
and just try to get stuff out there on your own and maybe try to find just a distribution deal because you can record yourself.
You don't even need a distribution deal,
You know what I
though,
mean?
to an extent.
If you're gonna go completely digital and have just everything up online and not have any physical copies, you know what I mean?
Which is almost obsolete because 90% of the industry that are signed to major labels aren't even at Target anymore.
But then, you look at vinyl sales outsold compact discs for the first time
in a while,
in forever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
That's recent.
because
it's a novelty again.
Yeah.
That's what's
it's
happening.
a novelty, but yet there's a lot of people that think that shit sounds better too. You know what I mean?
Do you think it does? They said it does.
I think it does, but I don't got the time to pull the fucking thing out of the sleeve, put it on the plate, drop the needle on it, and sit there and listen. I got shit to do. I don't got time. I got my earbuds in, and I'm fucking got the shit on my phone. You know what I mean?
I honestly think CDs sound the best.
Yeah, I think
but it depends on what. If it was a digital recording, yes. If it was an analog recording, it's
Transferred to CD?
Transferred digitally. Yeah. Dude, you listen to old analog recordings on vinyl, it shit sounds amazing.
What's that shit called, Phil, when when you're filming a movie and you got to record you record
audio?
The
audio?
No. Before you actually record the audio, you record
you record like room tone.
Room tone.
Oh yeah.
That's what it sounds like when you're talking about the analog. Like there's like the background is hella
the crackling.
crackling. Yeah.
Well, that's just part of the
crackling's the dust.
No.
I'm
not saying that. No, that's not the crackling. It's when you listen to a CD, like you said, that was transferred from analog to
digital. It kind of sucks some life out of that. I mean, it's a finite difference. Like, there's people that have
Kinda like
fucking.
that.
It's a shh.
You know what I mean? There's people that have dog ears and can really hear that shit. You know what I mean? Like, I've been in studios before where a guy's messing with something for 20 minutes. He's all, that sounds better, right? I'm like,
I can't tell.
What did you do?
Yeah.
And then they're looking at you like you're nuts. Like, are you fucking kidding me? It sounds completely different. I go, A-B that shit, dude, because I can't hear the difference.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then I've been playing drums for 40 years. My hearing's fucked. You know what I mean?
Have you seen that movie?
It's not that
so
bad.
bad.
It's not.
Have you seen that movie, The Sound of Metal?
Absolutely.
I was thinking about that. I was thinking about you when I saw that.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen that movie? It's a dude.
It's a pretty cool movie.
It's Oscar nominated, right?
You seen it?
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
It's deceiving because it's the sound of metal. You're thinking like, oh, headbangers, rah, you know what I mean?
Right.
But it's the sound of
It's a drummer that
the
loses his hearing.
cymbals.
Yeah.
You know, they're an alloy metal, and that, you know, that's what the high end frequencies is what destroys his, you know, his hearing. You know what I mean? Of course, he's not playing. I got super lucky, dude. When I was a kid, I was maybe a year into playing drums, and I was sitting on the couch watching television with the old man, and I said, "Hey, Pop, I can still hear my cymbals from practicing earlier." Oh shit. Because they were ringing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he was like, he mumbled, whatever that meant. And then the next day, he showed up with the box of the foam earplugs. He's like, you sit behind your drums, you put these in your fucking ears, and I don't want to hear another word about it.
Nice.
So I'm like,
Nice.
okay, Pop,
That's pretty
okay.
intense.
He saved my hearing. I mean, I joke that my hearing's bad. It's actually, for as long as I've been playing, pretty goddamn good.
I was gonna say the one thing that saved our band too is with in-ear monitors.
In-ear monitors, that's a whole new world.
And we don't even have
What's that?
in practice in-ear monitors. So basically, you know when you see people performing live on TV or something, they like hold their ears. They have like that little earplug. That's
someone told me they wear that at concerts.
Yeah, they wear it everywhere. Some people use them for recording too, but basically what it is you get your own mix. So what you hear out in the crowd is not what we're hearing on stage.
For sure.
Right? It's what like the monitors are, basically.
Yeah.
But sometimes,
but just having those earbuds in, having the earbuds in general, like for practice, we don't connect to anything. We just have the earbuds in, and it saves our ears.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, because you don't have to have it as loud. It's isolating the sound.
Right.
In the room.
I can hear the drums. The room is this big.
What I've seen though in bands, you know, that are using that technology, especially in a club, there's a weird sort of there is a weird disconnect, and I haven't really put my finger on it, but sometimes if they don't have it right to the sound guy, even the sound, like, it just sounds weird and everyone's playing full force because they're hearing it as loud as they need it, but there's just something about volume and the air moving, and knowing that you're making that air move by guitar.
Makes it like a spiritual thing.
There's something,
Okay, so
something deeper.
When it comes to that, what do you think about backing tracks? Bands using backing tracks, because we use backing tracks.
It depends on what you're using the backing track for. If you're using the backing track to play something that you don't have in the band, like, you know, if there's an extra keyboard part or whatever, if it's backup vocals of the band and the band's not pulling off the backup vocals live, you know what I mean?
Okay,
if it's sometimes it's time, because I've seen bands.
That's why some band canceled a show recently, right? Because they didn't have their backing.
That
bands
happens.
do that all the time.
But I've seen this. Like, I'm used to, and the band starting. I'm seeing everybody starting at the same time with no count off, because the count off's in the in-ears. I want to, you know, let me feel like you're doing this, because when I hear that, I go, I'm mad at.
So you're in sync.
So I just want to.
Well, you feel that more sense of it's like really live. Too.
I'd rather, I'd rather have a band playing completely live than because.
Do you wear those inner ear things though?
No, I wear earplugs, and the volumes that my bands play at, I usually can't hear the band. I know that sounds crazy, but it's so loud that you can't hear anything.
That's 90% of performing.
So what I do is, be it that I'm the drummer, I'll tell the band, hey, I more than likely won't get lost in the song. You know,
follow me.
I'm gonna count it off and follow me. If we get off, I'll try to get us back, but you know, follow me. And, you know, it's
God damn, that sounds stressful.
It's stressful, but you know, if I can't hear, I can't hear.
You've been doing this for 20 years now, or
40, dude. 40. I've been playing drums 40 years. I've been playing in clubs and bands since I was 14 or 15. So
nice.
And I'm almost 50. So
you still have all your fucking hearing.
It's pretty good.
That's good.
It's pretty good.
That's good.
So you talked earlier about like, you know, the movie like losing his hearing and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and you were saying like how you was a kid and you said you heard something from
ringing.
practice, the ringing.
Yeah.
So what is it, the loud banging of the drums?
Sure. I mean, it's fucking drums. Drums are loud. You know what I mean? The cymbals, the high end of the cymbals is just those frequencies are
piercing.
Are damaging. You know what I mean? Like I got a buddy that, and it can happen on the low end too. I have a good friend of mine that his right ear is toast because he had 4 15s in the trunk of a Cadillac, and he used to just have it just super bassy, and that bass just eats up. You know, there's tiny little hairs in your ear canal that are for hearing, and they get fried from sound.
If this is too loud, it could fuck you up too.
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
turn it down, Phil. I'm scared.
Leaf blowers are fucking jackhammering all day and all that shit. You know, just so the average person on the street has, I think, what did they tell me? Like 15 to 20% hearing loss. Just the average person. They don't consider you to have considerable hearing loss till you get over 20%.
Right.
You know what I mean? I had gotten a test when I was like in college, and I was at like 5%. You know, but I had been, plugging my ears on.
I work in, union for a while. And I do work right now where it's all, manual labor. And I was inside of a container breaking some metal pieces apart.
Oh shit! It was super loud.
I didn't even have earplugs, and inside of the container, it was like
just bouncing around, and
I fucked up because then I left that day, and I could just like when I went to the Mars Volticon.
Goddamn, Sean.
That's it. I mean, when I was going to college, I had a friend. He said he had 2 pitches he can hear, and he went over to the piano and figured out what pitches they were because he's a nerd.
Yeah. I used to always hear like going back to like sounds and stuff like that. I remember my dad had not an 8-track player, but was it the vinyl? He had a record player of like Michael Jackson, the one, I forget which song it was, but it was like not a Thriller, but it was like one I remember because it always was high pitched, and it was like something like it started off, it's like walking through the house, and then it's like he starts up a car or some shit, and I remember that rung in my head for like a while. Also, I had bad hearing growing up. Like I remember they used to do like sound tests.
Remember that test?
Yeah. So that's when they found out I had bad hearing, because I remember my grades was going down and the teacher was getting mad saying I wasn't paying attention. Come to find out I couldn't hear, because I always put me on the outer part of the room, and I was like, what did they say? What did they say? And I was like, why are you guys asking me this? And then the sound thing came, and they was like, all right, so get ready to take the test. And then they like started. I'm like, all right. Whenever you're gonna start,
what test?
Yeah, right. And then I didn't hear nothing. And then they turned it all the way up, and then I heard like a pitch of the count, and then they figured out
there's no
I had terrible hearing.
They put me in the outside of the classroom too, but that was because I was disrupting the class. I was the kid in the corner,
and shit.
calling people beaners and whatever else. Yeah.
That movie, The Sound of Metal, it kind of like it gave me anxiety when he's first hearing.
When it first starts going,
because I feel like I don't know why. I feel like that could happen to me.
Oh, it can happen to anyone. It can happen to anybody.
You don't just have to be in a band.
But and the band that they were kind of based off of, that's an actual real band. There's this band called Jucifer.
Oh,
and they're a duo, and they're a husband and wife.
Yeah.
And the wife sings and plays guitar, and she has what's called the White Wall of Doom. It is this enormous wall of cabinets that they set up behind them, and you're looking at it, and we've all seen bands play, and they have all those cabinets, and sometimes they're called dummy cabinets. They're not using all those cabinets. Most of those cabinets are empty.
Or 100% of them are empty.
This thing is all live, and it's all running. And I was watching them play one time, and I was like, it ain't that loud, right? I was thinking, right? I was like, these guys are supposed to be one of the loudest bands ever. I'm like, whatever, you know what I mean? They were playing, they were like halfway through the first song, and then they kind of stopped. Well, the drummer stopped, and he got up off of his chair, and he walked around. You can see him kind of deep breathing, and I'm like, what's he doing? And then he sat down, and he hit the next downbeat. As she hit a switch, she kicked on the rest of the wall. She was only running about a quarter of the wall. She hit the rest of the wall. The sound made me step back. I'm not fucking lying, dude.
That's
it
crazy.
was so loud. I was like, call Guinness, dude. They are the loudest band in the world. Right now, there's a band called Manowar that's in the Guinness Book as the loudest band because they called Guinness. Come down with your meters and see how Jucifer's way fucking louder than them. Yeah, exactly.
So now remember, it's like a kid buys a Michael Jackson album or something, and he's like, "Don't be playing that in here." And then his dad's like, he gets hella mad, so he dresses up in as Michael Jackson, and he puts a big ass speaker behind his dad who's sitting in the couch, and then he plays like a guitar, goes, and he like blows out his ears. That's what it was like from. And I remember that like used to always be ringing in my ear because it was from like Michael Jackson.
You were traumatized. You were traumatized by this Michael Jackson thing.
I guess I don't know.
Are you okay?
No, I'm cool. No, but it was literally I just remember the sound because I think I had it up too high, and it was like
I was legit traumatized by that fucking movie after I watched this.
Well, the Thriller movie, yeah.
The Sound of Metal. Because there's a scene where he thinks it's the phone. Remember?
Oh yeah.
He's like, I can't hear you, and he has this loudspeaker on, and then I had a moment like that when. I was working at Chase Center, and I was working in the parking underneath, and there was a jackhammer next to where I was working. And I had to stay there. I was pulling wires. There was no way for me to get away from there. There was no earplugs, and I just that day when I walked out of there, bro, just like that, where I was like. I was tripping.
Dude. And the thing that sucks with your ears, dude, you don't get that shit back.
Yeah.
Once it goes, it goes. And you can't, it isn't like a sore muscle that you can, I can't.
I can work it. I can rehab it.
You can't do anything about your ears. Once they're gone, they're gone.
Yeah.
And as a musician, that's what your fucking worst thing that could ever happen. And so I take precautions, definitely. Yeah,
but especially as a drummer.
Especially as a drummer, I've heard such foul shit out of a monitor that I've reached behind and fucking unplugged the monitor just because it's just such nonsense coming out of there. You know what I mean? So, and that's where I was like, you know what? Just listen.
That's
to
what
me,
we were just talking about that at the show.
You know what I mean? It's just yeah.
Him and we were talking at the comedy show, the Halloween show.
Yeah,
about unplugging speakers and stuff.
Telling them.
Oh, you were there. Oh yeah.
Well, just because there's also
I only have 5 stories, so I'm gonna repeat myself.
No, but sound engineers and stuff, like especially at these small clubs, there's no telling. They all probably know what they're doing somewhat, but as soon as there's a band there, they act like they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Well, a lot of guys, especially at clubs or whatever, they're used to the room, and most bands have a similar setup. When you start throwing a monkey wrench on, like
that's true, like backing tracks and stuff like that.
Some of these guys
bands bring their own people though, right? So like most of the time,
not smaller bands.
Oh,
I've never been in a band that had our own sound guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
kind of you're left up to the mercy of the club.
I saw when Metallica set up their shit, dude.
Oh, dude, they got multiple sound guys. They got a monitor guy and a couple.
And they can afford all that.
Dude,
so
and they're all on retainer.
Yeah.
Not only can they afford to pay these guys top notch, when they're not touring, those guys are still getting paid.
Right.
They're just
what's
waiting.
crazy? Those guys, because I've never seen a setup like that. I've never seen a setup.
One of the biggest bands in the world.
Yeah.
Wait, what do you mean set up like what?
Well, I was working at Chase Center, and I was working there when they were gonna do the symphony show. They showed up like 4 or 5 18-wheelers showed up. They unloaded on the stage, and then a shitload of other trucks showed up for the equipment. And they didn't need shit from. We were there just in case they needed something from us. Like if you need us to rewire some shit.
Right.
They didn't even need power from us. They bring in their own power.
Yeah.
No,
that was crazy.
Oh my! What? Oh my!
Yeah, they bring in
so
their
rich
own,
they got their own power.
No, okay. Yeah.
Like a big ass generator.
That's normal though.
My brother. We don't want to use your power.
Dude,
we got our own power.
This big ass truck,
they have generators. Yeah.
And they run big.
Well, because you can't just plug it. I just had to tell my brother this. You can't just plug it in like that big of a setup into the wall.
They bring in their own chefs to cook for their crew. It was like, I was blown away, dude, at how
Dude, I'm lucky if I got an extra extension cord. You know what I'm saying? Like,
is that not the worst when you're missing
like oh, dude, forgot a cable.
Sounds like a comedy show. Be like, is there a second mic that might work?
I do that with my comedy shows too. Sometimes I got to bring my little PA, and I'm like, oh man, I forgot this one cable.
Yeah,
we're gonna have to yell.
Do you have to bring?
It's stupid.
Do you have to bring a microphone to your show?
My bistro show, I bring. They got a nice little PA in there, but I bring my own mics.
You bring your own mics,
but I also bring a little mixer because I like to play music.
Yeah.
And sometimes I forget the cables for my mixer to go into their mixer, and sometimes there's no music.
You ever done shows where they give you a wireless mic, and if you're holding a set, you have to hold it like this?
Yeah, fuck a wireless mic. Dude.
Oh, I love wireless mics. It's my favorite,
dude.
No, you guys just don't know how to use them.
What, you gotta hold them like this?
No, you don't have to do that. But that's actually not recommended. You don't hold it like this.
The times I've done it with a wireless mic, if you didn't hold it like this.
When you get a nice expensive wireless mic, like when you get like a $1,000 Shure mic or something like that.
So what we're saying is, they had a shitty wireless mic, so you had to hold it like
by
this.
Fisher Price.
So it would stay together in order for a sound to come out.
Yeah.
Talking about those.
There's some really nice cheap wireless mics out there.
Give me a cord.
You just have to know how to use it.
I want a cord. I need a cord.
Because also
it's fun to play with the cord though while you're performing.
Because a few different times it's like people be fucking with it or stuff like that, and like somehow it always get cuts off or something like that, and or like I've been on a few different shows where one of the wireless mics wasn't charged fully, so it cut out in the middle of a set. Then they brought up another one, and then that one was dead. It was like, do you have a third one? And then they brought the third one, but it was like low or it was the fucked up mic. It was just
dude.
Or people bring shitty PAs. Remember that show we did in Richmond one time where the mic cut off? I think it cut off for the headliner, not us.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
it's just that shit always ruins the show.
And then people just like
shitty PA.
I'm just gonna yell.
I'm just gonna yell.
To the show.
Yeah, having the PAs in general just to deal with suck. Like it's the worst thing because if there's someone that doesn't really know what they're doing, it's gonna turn out bad.
Well, when you're
someone can know what they're doing, and by the grace of whatever, something will not work. It always happens. Something does not work.
That is true.
Do you set up your own? You set up your own stuff for your shows?
Yeah.
And typically, is it you bringing in everything, or how does it,
like the PA and all that stuff?
Yeah.
Like for the bands or for my comedy shows? For the bands, it's like the bands bringing their own gear.
Okay.
Usually there's a PA there because we're playing clubs or you're playing a place where somebody came in and set up a thing. And of course, different types of music. There's a different typical thing.
Right.
My band Hazards is more of a hardcore kind of more punky kind of thing.
Okay.
So be it that we're kind of in the hardcore scene. The hardcore scene's always been run by 15-year-olds. Like since for the dawn of time, it's always been run by teenagers. You know what I mean? Yeah. So we'll show up and these kids are setting stuff up, but they are kids. You know what I mean? Like, and we're literally the oldest people there. I'm like, hey guy, let me give you a hand with that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Kind of. But it's cool. You know what I mean? It's fun that way. Zed is a little bit more up the ladder, so we're playing bigger places usually. And then my other band, Hellbeard, who hasn't played in like a year and a half, had our first rehearsal just this past week, which I'm very excited about.
Nice.
And goddamn,
that band kind of just will play whatever we can play.
How many times do you have to practice for all these bands?
Well, everybody, once a week about, you know what I mean?
Jesus.
If everybody's, rolling, you know what I mean? Yeah. Hazards is the busiest out of the bands that I do, just because they're a newer band and we're trying to get our shit out there.
What was you said the biggest band was?
Zed's probably the bigger of the bands.
You guys are headlining a lot of shows with
if that band plays, we're probably going to headline, or we're, opening up for a bigger, touring band, and that's the band I went to Europe with.
Oh shit!
Right before the before the world tried to end.
so for that kind of thing, when you travel the world, like where you went, Europe?
Yeah.
Did you guys have to bring all your equipment from over here?
No, but as a drummer, I got to bring what's called breakables.
Yeah.
So I got to bring my cymbals, a snare drum, and my pedal.
Right.
The kick drum pedal.
And
if
sticks,
you need
new cymbals, they'll send them out to you and shit, right?
No, I don't got it like that, dude. I got to buy all my own shit.
What's a cymbal?
Stop it.
The crashes.
Stop it. The big alloy round thing that ruins your hearing that we were talking about earlier.
Gotcha.
The sound of metal is the...
No, I mean, but if you buy some... was that company Zildjian?
Zildjian? Yeah.
If you buy some from them, they'll ship them out to you everywhere in the world if you're touring, right?
If you're on their...
If you're on their roster.
If you're on their... you got to be... You're not... You got to...
You got to buy a certain amount or some shit, right?
There's different levels. Yeah. There's the top line of the monsters that just
for free and
get shit thrown at them.
Yeah.
Then there's mid-level where you're getting a really good deal and you can get stuff sent to you whenever. And then there's a third level where you say you exclusively play their shit, but you're buying everything you're playing.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
they might give you a discount or
you get a small little
there.
break, but it's
One of my homies played for some band. I forgot the name, but they used to open for Marky Ramone.
Okay.
And he told me that I think Zildjian used to, if he was gonna be in like France the next 2 days, by the time he got to France, he'd go like to one of the local shops and they'd have a brand.
Oh, they'd have his stuff for him. Yeah, I mean
that depends how.
Ramone.
Yeah, that depends how good you
know
have
what I mean?
it with
Marky
them.
Ramone, he's a name brand. You know what I mean? You know.
You probably just have to say that. Hey, I'm opening for Marky Ramone. Can I get a
Sean Boyles ain't shit.
Literally.
Literally.
Are you working on new music right now with your band?
Yeah, everybody. Yeah, every band that I'm doing is constantly writing new stuff and trying to get it. It's almost
Like an album?
It's almost like comedy. You know what I mean? You work on a material so long that you get that hour and you record a special. Same thing with bands.
Bands
do the same
comedy.
thing. You
All
do,
right, how involved are you in the writing process?
for Hellbeard, very involved. Actually, all of them very involved. I don't play in bands where I don't get to be involved. Like I've done it before. Like I've been really lucky where I've been in bands where they want me to be involved.
Right.
You know what I mean? They want my input. They want my creativity.
That's awesome.
I've never been in a band where one guy's writing everything. Hey, play this.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't think I can handle that really.
The last time
I like the team effort.
Yeah.
The last time you were here, you mentioned that story about that crazy show that what was it? Death Angel did.
Oh, the
Hayward?
Centennial Hall show in Hayward. Yeah.
I talked about that with someone
That was there. Or that remembered it.
He was an older Mexican dude from Hayward or San Leandro.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh yeah, I think I was there.
I think I was there.
Yes. He was an OG guy, and he told me that, like there was a lot of shows like that in Hayward back in the days. Like, not a lot of shows, but
there was a lot of shows, but I mean, that was like one of the first times Hayward had anything happening, and then that was the second one.
Jeez.
You know what I mean? And it went bad. You know what I mean? But like I said, the city saw. Like I said, I think it was they saw the pit,
right,
and they thought it was a riot,
a fight or a riot.
Yeah, a fight.
Yeah.
These kids are killing each other. Get down here immediately.
Arms thrown.
You go to like big, like do you go see like any of those like Metallica, Slayer, or Slayer's not around, but do you go to those concerts
once in a while? I don't go very often, but
there's no more pits though, right? Like I haven't seen.
Oh, here's what I saw recently. So I went to they did the Bay Area Strikes Back tour. It was Testament, Exodus, and Death Angel. They did a big tour of the U.S. They did Europe.
Which for a lot of people that don't know, those are Bay Area bands.
Those are Bay Area. Yeah, that's why it was called the Bay Strikes Back.
No, but like a lot of people don't know that the Exodus is from the Bay.
Yeah,
and
Exodus is, for all intent and purposes, the first thrash band
from Richmond, California.
They're from Contra Costa County for sure. You know what I mean? So they
that's why we say that shit with pride, dog.
Yeah, dude.
You said Richmond, and then he was like Contra Costa.
Well, I mean, they're from everywhere. You know what I mean? Yeah, definitely.
I know, but I'm saying like they're. You don't
Phil
necessarily
over there
have to
throwing
be
shit around. What are you doing, dude? God, your cap ended up way over there.
Look, there's a lot going on my table here. Okay.
You've been sitting back there doing nothing for a minute.
Eating milk duds, making hella noise in the background.
Yeah. Fucking taking deep ass breaths, making it sound like he's bored. With all that fucking ice cream you ate earlier.
You don't get an excuse for breathing heavy, okay? I try and explain that to my wife.
Hey, no one told you to eat ice cream at 11 a.m., fucker.
I forgot it was in there. It was going to go bad.
And so that's why you ate it all.
Go bad trick.
And that's why
you ate it all yourself.
Right? It didn't offer nobody. He was like, oh, let me fucking.
He over here like, you want to do
You're like a fucking panda eating bamboo.
He had it on his stomach and was just like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, like a panda eating bamboo in China and shit. Fucking guy.
Feels like, I guess I have to be the hero and eat it all by
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's saving the rest of us from gaining weight.
Yeah,
He's a hero.
don't want anyone else getting diabetes.
He's a hero.
He took one for the team, y'all. We should be saying.
He's a hero? Did you say hero? There's hero sandwiches around.
Let me eat the last of this ice cream for y'all so y'all won't be tempted.
This devil processed food.
Oh, did that. So hopefully y'all ain't got to go through that.
We already had donuts and coffee. You don't need to eat this ice
Killmonger
cream.
of fast food. That's too much.
No, but
so you went to that.
I went to that. It was the last day of the tour. They did a whole U.S. tour, and they were in San Jose, and I was kind of bugging out at the pit and how it was.
Old guys.
There was that, and so with
a lot of young guys, huh?
There was a couple youngsters that were kind of, and that's where the energy is. You know what I mean? But
like that,
the old guys go around 2 or 3 times, and they're like, okay, like, dude, I won't go in.
They're like, I shouldn't have ate all that ice cream.
I don't go into pits anymore, dude. I go around half a time. I got to take a knee. I don't have the fucking energy to do that shit anymore. But there was a couple of times it whipped around really good. But what bugged me, so when Exodus was on, I was at the top of the pit, right? And I'm looking at these guys running around. There's a dude in the pit with his phone out.
Oh no!
Selfie mode, going around the pit. If your pit is so weak that you can pull your phone out and film you, fuck your pit.
That should have been broken.
And I hate to say that because, Exodus is one of the, they're the OGs of OGs. But
Sean, it was your mission to join the pit and knock his fucking phone out of his head.
No, I'm not trying to do that. I'm not trying to do that anymore.
This is why I felt old. This is me saying it. I went to see what was it? Deftones. I think it was like 4 or 5 months ago.
Okay, yeah.
And Gojira opened for them.
Yeah, Gojira.
They
awesome.
made the crowd way more wilder than Deftones did.
Sure, they're more aggressive fans.
More younger fans too.
Yeah.
So all the young fans were doing the circle pit for them. Yeah. And I got close because I was like, you know what? I used to always go in the pit.
Sure.
That was my shit. I used to go in the opposite way of the circle pit.
Oh, you were that guy. Okay.
I was that guy. Unfortunately. Well, anyways, it was a lot of fun. I see the fucking the circle pit, and like as I take a step, I remind myself my fucking lower back's hurt. And then I just didn't even go.
I didn't stretch. I didn't.
Yeah, I feel like a bitch.
Nah, it's just I look at it like this: if the music is enthralling you to throw your body around, don't fight that. Let that shit happen, no matter how old you are. Because there has been times where I've been at the show and they play a song, and I'm like, and I go. You know what I mean? I don't even think about it. I just go. And I regret it because I'm old as fuck now, but I let it just I let it just hit me. I let it overcome me. I let it just
you do
whatever.
You do the Sindel move from Mortal Kombat, whip him with your hair.
I usually pull it back because I've gotten it caught. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you gotta be careful.
Yeah. But it's good to, like, I love doing that even if I don't fucking get in anymore. It's still fun to go because for a minute I know you feel young when you're seeing that shit. It reminds me of like you're in your early 20s.
It's the energy, you know what I mean? It's the synergy of the band playing what they're playing, it coming back into the crowd going off, giving that back to the band. I mean, you can't beat that. When I've been playing, I'm back there and I look out and I see people moving. Like no matter what kind of music I'm doing, if I'm doing music that people can dance to, or if I'm doing music that people fucking slam into each other violently, you know what I mean? Like the fact that I'm playing music that is pushing and literally moving people, you know what I mean? Not just emotionally, but physically moving people. That's it for me, Jack. I'm happy.
It's like when you're killing it.
It's the same thing when you're doing comedy. If you're fucking, everybody's laughing, or you do that Patrice O'Neal 50%, everyone, 50% are laughing, 50% are going, groaning. When you're hitting those things, dude, there's nothing better than that, because you're
transfer of energy,
dude. That's what it's all about. You know what I mean?
You said that you went to Europe and stuff like that. I have a
what was your
buddy.
favorite dinner place?
No. My buddies are in tour in Europe right now, and all their shit just got stolen.
Ooh,
and
that
their trailer, everything got stolen. So they're heading back home right now. The band's lent them gear for no. Has anything like that happened to you?
No, I've gotten super lucky.
Yeah,
nothing's got.
You think someone's gonna want to rob this guy?
No, dude, no. But see, they're more of a heavier band too, and like.
What's happening now is people are hip to it. People that are into stealing people's shit see 5 dudes pile out a van with wearing all black or got tattoos and long hair or weird haircuts or whatever.
Like score.
That's a band.
Yeah,
they must have equipment in that van, and then you come out of the club and all the windows are busted out and you're, so I always tell everybody, don't leave any anything in the van.
No,
nothing.
never.
Not your clothes, not your luggage.
Right.
Nothing. Don't leave anything in the car.
Yeah.
Take it into the fucking venue. You know what I mean? It sucks to move it, and then when you park for the night, if you got the scratch that you're actually staying somewhere, take all the gear into the room.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
See, that's the problem. That's the kind of problem that I have is like it's hard to bring a whole drum set, a whole everything.
Do it. It sucks because you're moving stuff again. You got to do it because I recommend don't even using a trailer because that shit can get hella quick.
Just put it on their truck.
That's what they do. They pull up, they snap the lock.
That's what you guys got a van.
We have a van, but we have a cargo van.
Yeah,
so
that's what you need.
That's kind of like a little.
But
I wouldn't say safer.
Unload it wherever you're staying. Unload it.
No, we had 2 shows in a row. My brother, we were at our house. We got to back it in, and he was like, "No, just leave the gear in there." I was like, "No, dude, we're in Richmond. I'm not gonna leave nothing in there." I was like, "I don't care if we have to unload or reload this in like 5 hours. We're gonna."
I mean, if I don't do it in front of my house, I'm not gonna do it in front of anybody else's house.
Yeah. No, 100%.
So it's just safer that way.
And so you never had anything stolen.
I've been really lucky. I've been really knock on wood, but.
Yeah,
I've been really lucky.
That could end the whole band's.
It could. I mean,
ending their tour right now.
So many things. I mean, dude,
and he had just bought like a $20,000 mixer too.
I played a show. We opened up for this band, and they were on tour, and. The guitar boats. Yeah. They all got our bass player. This band called All Time Highs that I have. That's completely dormant. That's actually band number 4.
Godfather of bands.
But one of the guys moved to Hawaii, so I don't know when the hell. But the singer for that band is the singer for Death Angel.
Okay.
This band All Time Highs. It's this dirty rock and roll band. Just straight up rock.
Angel?
Sings for my band All Time Highs.
Oh, shit.
So it's just a dirty rock and roll band, just fun. Think like AC/DC, fucking
like old school rock,
really fast.
Yeah. Okay.
But our bass player did a little fucking spin kick move or whatever with his bass, and he knocked into the guitar boat and knocked the guitar boat off the stage.
Oh no!
And we were opening up for the Bronx, which is this band from Los Angeles that I really dig. And
was all their gear on it too?
There was 5 guitars in the. There was a 70s Flying V, and there was two Dan Armstrongs and a P bass that wasn't even the bass player's P bass. It was the former bass player's P bass. He let them use his bass. He's like, "Oh, this is the sound of the band. You got to use my bass." Jeez. The only thing that broke was a tuning peg off of that bass.
That's so funny.
But our bass player was like, "Here you go." You know what I mean? He just
threw down cash.
I'm sorry. You know what I mean? But yeah, we could have ruined their tour by fucking up their shit. You know what I mean?
So a little dance move
for a dance move,
and that's
whack.
Come on, James Brown.
You know what I mean? It's just any little thing can fuck up a tour. But if you have been touring a lot and you got all those connections across the country, you got friends everywhere.
For sure.
People are more than willing to help out. You know what I mean?
Or whatever.
And I see it all the time. Our shit got stolen, or our van broke down, or whatever it is, and they put up the fucking bat signal and they get help. You know what I mean? So, it goes back to what we were saying in the break room over there. It's like being cool with everybody.
Right.
It's so important because that energy goes and just permeates into everything else. So, hey, you know what? These guys were cool. Let's help these guys out. You know what I mean? That kind of shit. So
another thing too is like a lot of people kind of tend to forget when you're like maybe when you're not an arena level band, say you're like doing 300 cap rooms and stuff like that, a lot of the gear that you're bringing over or stuff like they don't have like Foo Fighters. There's no European rig and then a US rig and a.
People don't even know that, dude. People don't understand
the plugs,
that.
No. Like you'll have
the bigger bands have gear in other countries ready to go.
Ready to go. Like in a storage somewhere.
Yeah.
Or they'll have it in like let's say they'll have it here, but they have the same guitar. They have the same guitar 5 times because they have one that they used on the record that they're going to keep at home. They have one that they use for the U.S. and maybe multiples because if they tune down or
bus or whatever while they're traveling.
Maybe. You never know. And then they have one for Europe. They have one for Asia. They have, you know what I mean? Like all these different things.
I would imagine so if you can bring your own fucking power to an arena.
If you're bringing your own power, you're definitely going to have your own fucking Les Paul somewhere else.
haul.
Yeah, your
there's no
own
need to
chef
haul all
to
that
cook for
stuff
you.
everywhere.
I've actually seen though, like I was watching this, I don't know if it was Megadeth or something, but they were talking about how they had like their Guitar Vault, and the roadies finally convinced him, was like, dude, stop bringing out your vintage stuff. Like we're gonna get replicas. Like stop bringing that shit out.
And again, it goes back to what I was saying earlier, that hearing the differences in those things, it's so finite.
Minute,
And then for the player, I mean, I know it's certain, especially guitar players, it feels a certain way. This one feels better than that one, all that kind of stuff. But you know what I mean?
But is it worth to bring out your 70s?
Well, as an audience member, am I hearing that difference? You know what I mean?
Right.
Kurt Hammett's using that fucking greenie, that legendary greenie, right? That Les Paul.
Right.
Like, and he's playing that fucker everywhere. Like, am I hearing the difference? You're putting it through your fucking wah pedal in your custom made shit. You're making your sound. Do you really need to use that guitar, or are you using it because it's this coveted fucking
a lot
guitar?
Of the old
you know
school
what I mean?
guys now don't really want to add all these things because they like back. I forgot who said it. Maybe Yomi or one of those guys where when you were limited, you got a little bit more creative.
That's it too. Yeah. When you
all
don't
these extra little
when you
things.
don't have money for every effect imaginable, you get creative. You know what I mean? You start coming up with different ways to make noise on the guitar that aren't an effect pedal to do it. You know what I mean? So. You know what I mean? That's why I hit shit with a stick. I keep it fucking simple. Keep it simple. You know what I mean? I'm a fucking one ladder run up from being a caveman, dude. Just hit shit with a stick. Right? Probably. I mean,
imagine so.
Probably. Yeah.
Probably wasn't the guitar.
Don't think it was strings over a cavity making a vibrating noise. You know what I mean? Hitting shit with a stick. I'm sure that's pretty before everything else.
And then maybe
by miles and fucking centuries.
I was gonna say even before singing,
thousands of years.
Probably.
Yeah, I mean they were grunting rhythms, probably. You know what I mean?
Can you scream? Can you like?
Oh yeah, Hellbeard. I sing maybe 35% of the vocals.
Dude, we have to. I've been trying to learn how to scream and I can't do it.
I don't know how to do it. I just do it.
You know what?
Because for me, I have this.
Just do it.
Well, there is a way to do it right.
There is
fuck your shit up.
Your shit up.
I kind of have that. It's coming from here. It's coming from inside me. It comes out how it comes out.
Yeah.
Because I'm not doing it enough that I have to worry about. I'm gonna blow my shit out.
Yeah.
I got told recording one time, go about 80%. Don't go 100%.
Never go
You can't
100.
hear the difference between 80
Especially
and
on a
100.
microphone.
On a microphone. He's like, you're going to blow you. Because he saw me like going, just digging deep and going for it. And he's like, calm down.
Yeah.
We're going to capture what we need to capture. Go only 80%. And it ended up sounding way better than what I was trying to do at 100%. You know what I mean? So, because at 100%, I was losing my breath.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I was pushing so hard.
And guys will burn. What's it called?
Burn out your vocal cords.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Sure, especially if you're not doing it right.
If you're not doing it right,
there's a way to, I mean...
With James from Metallica, didn't that happen to him? His fucking voice is all...
that's why on the Black Album, he started singing.
Yeah.
I remember that first time seeing Enter Sandman video, I was like... What's he doing? What's he doing with his voice?
Yeah.
You know, because we were used to hearing him. He would bark. He barked.
Barked.
You know what I mean? He always barked, and then now he's singing.
I was just telling Phil.
We were so disappointed, you know, but that ends up selling a bajillion fucking albums. You know what I mean?
One of the most. What was it? It's on the list, right? Of most sold.
It's probably in the top 10 of all-time best-selling records. The Black Album. Yeah.
Damn.
You know what I mean?
I was just telling. We were talking about bands earlier. I was telling him a story of which I'm sure you have a story like this. This old plumber guy that I used to work with at one of my first jobs told me a story of what it was here in the Bay Area. He went to go see some show. He didn't even know who was headlining. It was a metal show. Mm-hmm. The headliners were this band called the Flying Van Halen Brothers.
The headliner was the Flying Van Halen Brothers?
Just Van Halen.
I don't think they were ever called the Flying Van Halen.
That's what he said they were called. I don't know.
You know where he got that from?
Where?
The fucking
La Bamba.
He got that from Steven Seaweed, who used to be on KSJO radio in San Jose. He would call them as a goof the Flying Van Halen Brothers.
Oh shit!
Like it was just like a funny
ha. They were called in the openers.
They were never called the fucking Flying Van Halen Brothers. Never. No. They were called Mammoth before they were called Van Halen.
Mammoth.
Yeah. And Wolfie Van Halen, Eddie's son. Yeah. That's the name of his band now. because they never put out anything as Mammoth, so there's no like copyright or whatever.
Okay. So they
And
were never
plus,
called
He's a
Flying-
fucking no. They were never called.
That's
Flying-
this guy's story. He told me, and then he said Metallica was there on the show too, but they were the openers. And
Metallica played with Van Halen, but that was the Monsters of Rock tour, and that was when fucking Sammy Hagar was singing for Van Halen.
Way
so that
after.
was like 87.
They were already big.
too.
Yeah,
then, huh?
Metallica was about to record "Injustice for All."
Oh shit!
They were
Oh,
still,
that's way after.
there was the last tour they did, I think, on Master of Puppets. Jason Newsted came in after Cliff had died. And,
Well, I was gonna ask, do you know any like stories where you saw bands like that before they fucking blew up?
Primus. I happened to be wearing a Primus shirt, coincidentally. The first club show I ever went to was Death Angel, Primus, and another band, and I didn't know anything about No Primus, but it completely changed. Talk about a band that influenced me really heavy, because at that time I'm in a thrash metal band starting to get going. We go to see Death Angel. We're stoked because we went to see Death Angel, but then I see this fucking goofy ass weird band with this bass player doing all this slapping and popping shit. You don't see that shit in heavy music. You know what I mean? Guitar players doing
like
all this weird noodly shit, but the drummer is playing such groove shit.
Who was the drummer?
Tim Alexander.
Tim Alexander.
And he's like,
was he the first one, or was
Jay Lane was first. Yeah.
I know him. I know.
Oh, you know Jay Lane?
I know Jay
right
Lane.
on.
I'm trying to get him on here.
Oh, that would be awesome, dude. Yeah, I would love to. And he's come back into Primus, you know what I mean? So,
oh shit.
But yeah, this is Tim Alexander, and he's playing on a fucking garage sale drum set. I mean, this shit is some like old crusty Ludwig with a weird rototom and all these weird little cymbals that I'd never seen before. He's using a piccolo snare drum, which I had never seen a piccolo snare drum before. In fact, they influenced
just like the smaller. Right?
A piccolo snare drum is usually a smaller diameter. It's really, really thin, and it's usually made out of metal. They do make wood ones, but it was just a different sound. Nobody was, and I was just like, within the month I had my own piccolo snare drum. I started playing more groove-centric beats over heavy riffs instead of playing,
can you
super
define
fast.
The difference, with I mean, you did explain the difference, but like, give an example for maybe someone who doesn't know what the difference of a groove-centric for.
Well, just heavy.
What would you, something that's probably
so if you listen to punk and you listen to a lot of metal, there's not a lot of heavy groove. It's all like it wouldn't be something that you can really pound out. It's more of a feel.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it would be the difference between, let's say, hearing a metal band with live drums and hearing a certain kind of beat, but then taking those drums out and then putting a hip hop beat on it.
God.
Where a hip hop beat's gonna have more of a what I always call a sticky feel.
Would you call like the Deftones drumming more groove centric?
So absolutely. Abe's definitely got more of a
feel to it.
Yeah. So when that started happening in heavy music, it kind of changed things a little bit. You know what I mean? Because we weren't hearing that kind of groove sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's a thing. Metal was always thought to be kind of kind of square.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As far as like the jazz heads wouldn't be into it, but the crazy thing is the jazz heads would look at those guitar players, those super shredder guitar players, and like, what is that? What are those guys doing?
Really?
There was a lot of respect, dude, with the metal, like the real shredder guys and the like really heavy jazz.
Oh heck yeah!
You know what I mean?
Because I know not like
the virtuosity of it is what's the common
like,
link.
whoa,
there.
that's
Almost
amazing.
the same. They're almost the same thing.
There's a lot of similarities.
Just throw a distortion pedal on and it's metal.
It's kind of
take it off and
kind
it's
of
jazz.
Kind of.
But the drumming is like they're a little bit more. I would say gatekeepers or not. They're really anal about.
Nowadays everything's so blended. It's hard to hear,
I was gonna say,
where cats are coming from. But back in the day, you know what I mean. And it's you can say it's cultural at point. I mean, not a lot of brothers and sisters going to fucking Iron Maiden shows. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But and then so. When bands started getting a little bit more groove oriented, it seemed to bring in more people and more people could relate to it. You know what I mean? If you had a different background, you're like, oh shit, that's got a groove to it. You know what I mean? So it's just like I said, nowadays everything's so blended and everybody's taking so much from so many different things. It's really cool, you know what I mean?
And
that's how new music gets started, I think. You know what I mean?
A lot of musicians start off with jazz, like did you?
I think back in the
jazz?
day, like if you talk to like those old British dudes, you know what I mean? Like all those guys started off, jazz first.
Jazz,
you know what I mean?
Classical and then jazz.
And then
I wouldn't even say classical. I would say
Jazz.
I mean,
maybe
Depending on the era.
maybe.
I did classical.
I came in to drum lessons telling the dude, I want to play rock.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he was like, well, you're going to hold your stick, like this. Like, I don't want to hold the stick like that because that's what the jazz dudes, I don't want to do that.
Right.
You know?
Is that like, do you consider, they tried to teach me like that too. I couldn't do it.
They said that's like. Well, first of all, I'm left-handed, so I'm already fucking up the instructor by holding holding that stick on my right hand like that. I'm already fucking with him.
Couldn't he just like mirror you?
If he had the thought, but that's what I do when I give drum lessons. In fact, my drum lesson company is called Mirror Image Drums because I'll set my shit up in front of a right-handed drum kit as a left-hander, and the kid just visually gets it right away because it's like he's looking in a mirror, and I'm able to show him that way.
Southpaw.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So it's a little bit easier. Dude, doing it visually like that totally makes a difference. Totally makes a difference. So, but no, I kind of right out of the gate was learning. I mean, I learned jazz stuff, but my focus was trying to learn rock stuff.
I gotta say, actually, I think that was such a great thing when I was first learning guitar, because we kind of started off with YouTube and then went to like a couple lessons here and there, and we told the guy.
The fact that you got to start off with YouTube.
Don't get me wrong, great.
Fucker.
It's great. It's great, but like we went to a guitar, we went to a teacher for like maybe 3 or 4 lessons, and
what year was this? Like 90?
Oh, I mean, so I was 11 when I
3.
No. Maybe 2008, 9. So like we were at that point where like you could tell a guitar teacher like, I don't want to learn scales. I want to learn how to play, rock, or I want to do this. And they were like, okay, well,
She Will Be Loved.
Yeah, and like they were like, okay, I'll teach you. Like, okay, now it kind of sucks for me because I really don't know my scales and stuff like that.
Well, that's
the
thing.
downside.
That's the.
But there's these guitar players that you can be like.
Here's the thing with those guitar players. Like I look at all those videos too. Especially, these guys are sitting in a room. They're sitting on their little desk chair, and they're shredding.
They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Play with a band.
Yeah.
I dare you.
Yeah.
Because you can't.
We had a friend like that who
they are
shred.
so locked into this and the other thing is it's perfect. It is perfect.
Right.
Perfect to the point where to me it's got no fucking life. It's got no soul. It's got nothing to it.
It sounds almost like a MIDI track.
It might as well.
So perfect.
You might as well hit play and let a computer do it. You know. But I can marvel at the technique. I can marvel at that perfection, but I ain't into it. You know what I mean?
You talking about guys that get trained?
No, there's
no.
The
Like
YouTubists that are showing you how to do it.
There's
no. Not showing you. That learn off YouTube, but they're in the room all day, so they can shred like crazy. But they've never played live. They've never played with the band.
Virtuosic. You know what I mean?
And you can't teach like that live magic shit either.
I mean,
you can.
Not really. Not really.
To an extent.
It's like teaching somebody how to be funny.
Right.
It's the exact same thing. You know what I mean? Like
you can't
teach.
You can learn it. You can't
teach soul.
Right.
You can't.
Okay.
And no matter what music you're playing, if there's no soul there, you know what I mean? Yeah, it could be the most fucking horn-having, fucking yelling, screaming, distorted feedback, whatever. There's still soul there. Those guys are pouring out whatever the fucking damage is in them. You know what I mean? Yeah. And they're pouring it out. And I remember talking to a guy once. Hey, you dig this band? He's like, nah, I don't hear any pain. Wow. It's like, oh, wow. You don't hear, okay,
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I know exactly what that means.
So I get that. You know, I get that. So when I see those guys doing that fucking super shredder shit on YouTube, or drummers playing along with other people's shit and they're playing it perfect and it's super technical or whatever, I'm like, that's great. You can play with a pre-recorded thing and you can play it perfect. Can you get in a room and create? It's something off the top. Can you put that antenna up and receive whatever that fucking signal is that we fucking receive to create, to bring it into your brain, to put it into your hands, to make those notes happen in whatever order they need to be in for that harmony and for that melody and for that rhythm? Can you tune into the earth or whatever the fuck, the spirits or whatever, and bring it in and hone it and create something that nobody's fucking ever heard before.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Being really good at copying.
Instead of being really good at copying somebody else's shit.
Okay.
You know what I mean? When he or she put that antenna up and received that and fucking made it and perfected it and recorded it and did the thing.
That's like those dudes that bring in pre-written rhymes to the battle raps.
Oh yeah. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cheating. That's what that is.
No.
Right.
You don't. No. You don't come to the site for fucking
Exactly.
pre-written shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
All top.
And you can tell.
It can sound good.
You could always tell when they do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I'm ripping on your fit right in front of you, you know I
what's
came off the top. If I'm talking about some other,
Mortal Technique.
Broad,
of course.
There's a video of Mortal Technique. I think I shared it with you, where it's like back in the days when he was first starting out, and there's a guy, and he called him out because he pulled out notes.
Nah.
And he called him
Hell
out,
nah.
and he was rhyming on all that shit that he saw about. He was sharing notes with your homies, and he tore the dude apart, bro.
Yeah.
It's like the most beautiful shit.
Hell yeah, dude. You can't. Yeah, dude. I've been
That's
lucky.
like being able to navigate, like do some crowd work on the set when you're, you can't, like,
Sure.
you could write a good joke, but handling like a heckler or
handling a heckler, handling what's happening in the room,
spirit.
those obvious things that you can't really, you walk into a room, everybody saw the same thing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you can go up on stage and make a little riff on there,
Right.
Be in the
Right.
moment, be present, you know what I mean? With music, you know what I mean? If you're doing a band that does originals, maybe there's not a lot of room for improvisation, but at the same time, this is the emotion and this is the soul that you've put into your music, and you're going to express this the best way you can.
And being limited in resource, in like I said,
Well, when you're limited, I think it's even more authentic. You know what I mean? You made this amazing thing off of nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And technology is such that it's pretty easy to do some pretty wowing stuff. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I've been fucking put on the floor emotionally with a dude in an acoustic.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, the simplest fucking thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
I see some dude fucking turning knobs and, getting a crowd all hype, but he's turning knobs. I'm good, man. I'm sorry.
Right.
I'm good.
I've seen some drum solos with like one tom, snare,
Sure.
and just that shit sounded like,
dude, look at those old Buddy Rich films.
Yeah, Buddy Rich,
That
yep.
fucker was amazing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, still to this day, like jaw-dropping, wowing. And then I'll see some other dick on fucking YouTube, the biggest kid in the world.
Yeah.
He's playing 1,000 miles an hour, but I'm just like, I guess. You know what I mean? I'm not feeling it. You know what I mean? And I love that shit. You know what I mean?
very athletic.
You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly.
Right.
That's exactly what.
No, yeah.
Dude. He's hitting the gym. You know what I mean? I can't do it.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
But you can play the show.
But I'll do something else that will have some soul to it.
Right.
And at least, you know what I mean? I feel, because I know where I'm coming from.
You know what
what I mean?
what it needs. That's the thing.
I think I've been lucky that I've been able to find guys to play a certain kind of music where everybody's on the same page.
Yeah.
Everybody's working towards the same thing, and we're all putting in, everybody's creating. Like, be it that I'm the drummer, I've been able to help make sense of how the song should be structured.
Right.
Maybe I didn't come in with a riff because my guitar playing's fucking terrible, but I'll hear a part, I'm like, that kind of feels more like a verse, that feels more like a chorus.
Right.
Let's put those two together like that. I think it needs a third part for a bridge, you know what I mean? But we can base it off of this riff, you know what I mean?
But when the drumming, like, I love Metallica, but I don't like Lars's drumming.
There was a time.
If Dave Lombardo was in Metallica early days,
It would have been a totally different band.
it would have been a totally different
But
band.
see, I think. But back in the day, so there's some pretty inventive shit on those Metallica records.
No, yeah,
like
for sure.
there was a time where we couldn't wait for the next Metallica record to come out.
I agree.
You know what I mean? It was like, oh my
I wasn't
god,
around for that, but
you know what I mean?
I agree.
Like, what's he gonna play? How fast are they gonna go? Like, how those guitar solos gonna sound? Like, he was inventive. He was doing stuff that nobody was thinking of. He was thinking outside the box. So, his influences were a little bit different than everybody
For sure.
else's. You know what I mean?
Right.
There was a time where that dude was fucking badass.
Yeah.
I think he got more involved in other things outside of music and wasn't keeping those chops up.
What I meant to say is, though, like, you can, like,
Well, you hear them now, and like, I saw a video of Metallica, and the Hetfield was asking Lars. He's like, we were playing, and they were talking about a song from like Kill 'Em All.
Yeah.
He's like, we were playing, and there was a kid in the front, and he was air drumming, and there was a big fill that he air drummed before the chorus that you didn't do. Do you not play that fill anymore?
Oh shit.
You know what I mean? And Lars was like, I don't know what you're talking. And then they had video of it, and someone pieced it together and had video of the kid air drumming the part that wasn't there, and Lars just kind of mail it in and just go for the easy part. You know what I mean?
That actually happens a lot, though.
But I mean, the dude's fucking 59, 58, 60. You know what I mean? Like that's, again, we're talking about athleticism.
Right.
They were one of the most aggressive bands there ever were, and so when they play those old songs,
you're lucky they're still playing that
fucking
fast.
almost 60, dude, and trying to play that shit, dude. I don't fucking I don't.
To only have one member missing in the original lineup, it is impressive.
Sure.
That's you know, as long as they've been around.
You know, it doesn't happen very often. You know what I mean?
No.
You know, but they're an aggressive band, and they have a big chunk of material that is aggressive and physically hard to play.
Right.
Can't even pull it off no more.
And it's hard to pull it off. You know what I mean?
That's why I went to go see the. Oh, go ahead. I went to see Misfits, and Dave Lombardo's with.
Dave Lombardo's playing.
And that makes kind of sense because their drummer wasn't.
Not, you know, but Lombardo playing Misfits shit, that's a day in the fucking park for him, dude. Yeah. He is chilling. He's having fun doing it.
I don't know if you know Slayer as much.
I don't, not really, but I know
those
of them.
intros, man, that he would do for Slayer songs were like some shit you'd hear like Lord of the Rings before war. Like there's some
battle cry
shit that he would do.
And he was, you know,
and he would use symbols that I never even heard. Like he was
way raw. I remember because, you know, he leaves Slayer for a while, and then he comes back, and then he leaves again and comes back. And when Paul Bostaff came in to replace him, they asked Tom Araya, the bass player singer, like, you know, what's the difference between Lombardo and Bostaff? He's like, Bostaff plays the same shit every night. Like we are tighter as a band because he plays it perfectly every night. It's gonna be the same. We're never gonna second guess. Lombardo's a little bit more of a little bit more raw. And sometimes he'll do some extra stuff, or he'll play something a little bit different.
Is that Cuban in him?
Exactly, dude. Exactly. That's exactly what it is, dude. Again, certain types of culture that you come from add soul to what you're doing. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? Yeah.
And he has like salsa.
Dude, I've seen him. Dave Lombardo got asked to fill in for Modern Drummer magazine does a drum fest every year or whatever. This was fucking 15 years ago. He got asked to come in and like fill in for like this big name jazz fusion guy.
Oh shit!
And he brought in a drum kit that had it was his normal drum kit that he uses for Slayer, but then he had a whole Latin section on it, and he did a bunch of Latin shit. Everyone was blown the fuck away because no one knew he had those chops.
They made a whole video like he's playing in front of an audience, just himself.
Yeah.
He does this like weird. It doesn't even sound.
He does some metal shit, but then he goes into this Latin thing that everyone's like, what the fuck did that come from? We had no idea. His last name's Lombardo. Come on. You know what I mean?
Real quick.
Yes.
You said 40 years of performing in clubs.
40 years of playing drums.
20.
Probably 32. 33 years of performing, Are
you, and include comedy in this now, are you in that mindset still of no matter what club, what size, how many people in the audience, you're playing to Madison Square Garden, or are you are you a little jaded to some extent?
Because it's for me. It's not for anybody but me. You know what I mean? I'm going to play balls out as hard as I can play.
To a brewery of 5 people.
Tell my jokes as hard as I can tell them.
Right.
Whatever it is, I'm going to perform 100% for me. I can give a fuck if anybody likes it. I'm doing this shit for me.
Do you ever find yourself jaded?
No, absolutely not. The only time, no. I get... my experience will make me maybe get a little frustrated when I see something not being done right.
Right.
Especially if I'm playing with a band and the band that is before us decides to break down their equipment on stage. instead of getting the fuck off the stage.
Right.
Get the drums off. You could take the cymbals off the stand in the back of the joint. Just get the
Right.
shit off so I can put my stuff up. You know what I mean? But that's just inexperience. I can't get mad at that, but then I could pull the dude to the side and say, hey, you know what? Maybe next time, to look out for the other dudes that are coming up. Just get the stuff off. You know what I mean?
Right.
So jaded, nah. I mean, I got guys I play with that are definitely jaded.
He loves
you know what
performing.
I mean? I love doing it because
I never even seen you perform music, but every time you hit him up to do a show, any comedy show,
He's down.
he's there in a 2 days notice. Like today, it's a 2 days notice, right? Or
No,
one
you
day
hit me up
notice.
this morning.
Oh no, I told you about it last night.
Yeah, but
you replied this morning.
I didn't see it till this morning. Right?
He loves performing.
You know, it's like I said, it's for me. You know what I mean? Like I get my demons out of my system by hitting shit with a fucking small baseball bat that I don't get arrested for vandalism for.
Right.
You know what I mean? And if I do it right, they move. You know what I'm saying? When it comes down to it, you know what I mean?
We're at the end of the episode, bro.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming out.
Thank you
man.
for having me.
I always
Yeah,
have
yeah.
a great time talking with you, bro.
Thank
And
you.
I hope you're coming next Sunday.
I'm gonna try.
Okay, cool.
Sunday's your guys'
Well,
pre.
we can't talk about it on here because no one's invited.
Well, this will probably come out after.
That's true.
happens,
That's
right?
true. Never mind.
Oh yeah, the potluck was great.
Potluck was
It
good,
was
yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
Thank you
fun.
for coming, Mr.
I usually don't invite. Like I
Thank you.
don't ever post. I'll never post that flyer. It's just for the people I invited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well. Anyways, thank you for
I will
coming
try.
out, bro.
I will try to come to that. And
Tell people where they
oh
can
my
follow
God!
you,
So I got Hazards from San Jose. Hazards, no second. What is it? H-A, it's spelled goofy. H-A-Z-R-D.
You can find all this shit in your Sean Boyles page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's Hazards from San Jose. Zed is on Bandcamp and Ripple Music. Hellbeard is on Bandcamp as well. I got the Sean Boyles podcast. You can
Yes.
find on all the platforms.
With the toilet paper logo.
Yes, because I'm full of shit and I've ran out of toilet paper. I'm out there doing shit, having fun, talking shit, hitting things with sticks.
Comedy at the Bistro.
And then,
Hayward.
first Thursday of every month, my show in downtown Hayward, the Boyles Bistro Blowout at the Bistro in downtown Hayward.
Good show.
Good show. Great
It's
show.
a fun show.
Very fun.
I've only been there once, but it's a great show.
Yeah.
Keep that shit up, you won't get booked again. No.
All right, you guys got anything?
No, I'm good.
I'm good.
I'm good.
Thank you for coming back, Corday.
Yeah. We took a fucking nap.
Let's
for
let's stay away
They're
from
talking
that
about
side of
heavy
the-
metal shit. I'm good. I'm gonna go sleep this one off.
right.
Joaquin was over there fucking snoozing too a couple times. It's all right. You guys, I know you guys are at the end of your day, so I'm.
No,
it's
no,
all
you're good. You're good. That's been the Voice Party. Thank you for listening.
And we're out.
Yay!
I think shit.